This is just a reminder for all the girls who live for the trade. Baby, it ain't nothing to pick the trade up from a gas station, honey, from a corner. It ain't nothing for that same trade to come home with you, follow you home, or beat you at your door. And it ain't nothing for that same trade to have you and your friends. And it ain't nothing for that same trade to come right back to the house in a ski mask and spray up the house with the Ruger, taking out you and your friends. Yup, that same trade who got a lesbian mother.
You got sisters and mama that's lesbian. You feel me? You know that got to. Exactly.
Just because I'm a woman that likes women, don't mean that you can be a boy who likes boys.
But you know everybody out here trying to act like you gay, right? That shit pissing me off.
In fact, that same lesbian mother helped him to flee in order to elude charges for taking those lives.
And I told the police I was gay. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, my thing is, if you ever felt like that way or something, don't be never afraid to come to me with that shit. Don't keep that kind of shit from me. I'm not.
If a person takes lives out of fear of being outed to their parents, it's because it's been made clear to them that their parents are not a safe place to be out.
I'm not telling nobody, not even my mom. I'm telling my pops, nobody. So nobody knows they're wrong.
What's ironic about a queer parent being mad at their queer child for being queer is that the child very likely inherited the queer gene from that parent. Attracting a trade is not a flex. This is somebody who's willing to have an interaction that they find disgusting with somebody who they're ashamed of being attracted to. I mean, that's literally the person you're sleeping with. And yes, we know it ain't a damn thing wrong with you or your queer body. The problem is sharing that body with somebody who doesn't feel the same. Why are you sharing your body with somebody who don't give a good goddamn about you in any way, shape, or form? We lose so many people in our community in the same exact way, and I guess they're going in vain because a lot of y'all haven't learned.
This is for the living and the dead. I am not here to entertain you. I am here to interrupt you. To put my hand through your chest, wrap it around the thing you refuse to name, and squeeze until it answers. You already know why you're here. Because somewhere between desire and denial, a scream went quiet, and you keep hearing it at night. Let me grab this mic so I can get real personal. We've already heard the names. Alante Davis, Paris Cameron, Timothy Blanchard. Not parables, not fucking headlines. People. People who breathed. People who laughed. People who kissed. And people who were punished for it with finality. See, some of you want a neat little lesson. I don't fucking have one. I have a knife, and I also have a mirror. At this point, you're gonna have to pick which one you can stomach first. Let me tell you something about the mask that kisses. You know the trade, girl. You know how the trade do. You know how they give it up, girl, you know. Don't pretend like you don't. See, he is a neighborhood myth with a real address. He's the barber chair sermon, right? The locker room echo, the you know what it is text after midnight. He's certainty in public and collapse in private. A handshake at noon and a hand over your mouth with his dick all up in you at 1 a.m. But not to silence your moan, baby, no. To silence his fear. You keep calling that attention that you get a blessing. No, it's not a fucking blessing. It's a bargain with a clock attached. And listen, I want you to understand, BubzDaGawd is being honest, bitch. Even though it's scripted, it's still me because I have it compiled for replay purposes. Listen, I know why you accept it. I know why. I've been there. I understand, girl. Because the bed is warmer than the truth. Because the chosen feels like proof. Because you were taught love is something you survive, not something you receive. But hear me, and please hear me well. When a man learns to hate the part of himself that wants you, he will always make a fucking ritual out of erasing you to prove he still belongs to his gods. See? Some of you are sleeping beside a man whose God requires your disappearance. Let's talk about the house that refuses mirrors. I don't want to see myself. Let's talk about the home for a second, shall we? The first church, the first courtroom, the first closet. There are houses where a lesbian can survive so long as her queerness is arranged in ways patriarchy approves. Masculine enough to be cool, invisible enough to be respectable, and useful enough to stabilize the myth. And in those same houses, a soft black boy, whether he's gay or straight, is conviction by fucking posture. A tilted wrist becomes a threat. A gentler voice becomes the fucking trial. And a tender heart becomes a crime scene. To the parents who think they're neutral because they never used the word hang it, understand that your silence signed the paperwork. See, you laughed at those people on TV. You praised hardness as safety. You pulled the boy's shoulders back and told him how to be seen, not how to be loved. Then you have the nerve and the unmitigated gall in this bitch to then be shocked that he grew a mask. You're shocked that the mask had a password, bitch. And you're shocked that the come on, Andrew, the password was you. Let's also talk about the mother's bargain. Let me speak with care to my queer sisters, especially the mothers. This isn't a trial against you, because other people gonna do that, not here on BubzDaGawd, no shade. It's a spotlight on the bargain patriarchy sold you. You may exist if your existence doesn't threaten our throne. So you learn how to live near the boys' club without burning it down. You held your breath, you lowered your register, you learned to laugh at jokes that sliced your own. And sometimes you built a life that kept you safe enough, but taught your son that softness is a sin punishable by exile. You didn't mean to. But the house understands what the house rewards. See, he read your survival tactics as rules, not warnings. And he learned to fear the love he is. To the mother on the phone saying, "Don't be scared to tell me," he already was, because you already were. See, the body can smell fear, and so can a fucking child. Let's talk about the confession nobody heard. There does come a point where the masks start to talk back and shit. When the boy in the mirror says, "I'm here," and the man in the suit says, "You're dead." See, y'all gonna like this term. Some call it post-nut clarity, no shade. I call it the collision, when pleasure exposes the lie and the lie reaches for a fucking weapon. So listen closely. He didn't kill you because you seduced him. He didn't kill you because you tricked him. He killed you because you proved him. You proved the feeling was fucking real, and he couldn't survive that being true. So he ended up unaliving the proof. This is not a love story, okay? It's not a fucking love story. This is evidence disposal. The ghosts want to share a word to the living. Listen, I am not here to shame your hunger. Hunger is holy. I am here to rename your risk. Stop calling secrecy safety. Stop calling danger devotion. Stop mistaking adrenaline for intimacy. Here's a plain gospel for some of the night walkers. Late at night, no shade. If he needs you invisible, he is rehearsing your funeral. If his tenderness has a curfew, so does your life expectancy. And if he speaks of you as relief and not relationship, your name is already past tense in his mouth. Don't fucking die proving that you are lovable. Let me say that again for the bitches in the back, girl, even to myself, girl, for the past shit I did. Do not die proving you are lovable. You already are. Find the ones who can say that shit in the fucking daylight. Let's take a look at the fucking community, because we doing a 360 wraparound ass type of understanding in this mug, okay? To the community, have a few questions I would love for you to answer. Where are the uncles who laughed at the sweet boys but cry at the closed caskets? Where are the pastors who preach deliverance but can't deliver a single safe home in this bitch? Where are the barbers and the big back niggas who go to the shops, girl, who set the rules of manhood with clippers like commandments and then pretend not to hear the eulogies 2 chairs down? Where are the cousins who DM at 1:43 a.m. in this bitch, but do not agree with the lifestyle at 1:44 p.m.? You want miracles in this bitch? You want some life-changing experience to happen in this whole community? Well, guess what? Y'all gonna have to start by shutting down the jokes that build the coffins. Start by loving the boys who don't know how to stand like your God, and start by admitting that you don't have a God, you have a fucking mascot, okay? Let's take a look at a practical liturgy of survival. I won't just leave y'all asses with poetry alone in this bitch, thus, thou, if, this, no. Here's some practice. 1, name it early. If he can't say what this is, you already have your fucking answer. Secondly, public proof. If he can't text you at noon, he doesn't deserve your midnight. Thirdly, safety ritual. Share locations with a friend and tell someone a name every time. Fourthly, no isolation. The first time, let's find a neutral space. Second time, your rules. If he resents the rules, he resents your ass. Fifthly, exit rehearsed. Have the line you'll send to get help. Practice that shit. We are not improvising with our lives in this mug, especially in this social climate, bro. Sixthly, honor your no. Desire is not debt. If your spirit says, not tonight, go home alive, girl. And lastly, seventhly, seventh heaven, community check-ins. Create a group that treats you home like a sacred liturgy. Survival is not paranoia. And this a read for me, bitch. Survival is not paranoia. It's a prophecy fulfilled. Let's take some time for the dead we name. Alante Davis, Paris Cameron, Timothy Blanchard. You deserved decades. You deserved boring mornings and messy kitchens and the silly fights that end in laughter. You deserved to be complicated, to change your mind, to outgrow this fucking sermon. You were not symbols. You were fucking people. And we speak to you like we are late to your party and swore we wouldn't miss another one. May y'all please rest in power and rest where shame cannot follow. We will do the living that was stolen, and we will starve the gods that demanded you as a fucking sacrifice. Now for the dead that we don't know, for the ones we don't have names for For the ones misgendered in the article and buried wrong. For the ones erased by family statements that never spoke who you were. For the ones taken by a hand that swore that it felt like home. We will not sanitize your ending. We will not tidy your truth to protect the ones who failed you. We will not call it tragedy without calling it what the fuck it is, a pattern. Now let's talk about the curse and the cure in this bitch. To every house that teaches boys to break themselves for entry, your walls remember the screams you pretend not to hear. Your air is heavy with ghosts. Let them out or fucking choke. To every man who uses queer bodies as alibis for a masculinity your ass don't even believe in, may your lies find you before your bullets find anyone else. May your mask rot from the inside until truth is the only skin that fits. And lastly, to every mother and father who are brave enough to love the child you actually have, I want you to understand that you are doing something very powerful. See, you are interrupting a funeral we are tired of attending. You are building a future where desire doesn't require a eulogy. We see you. BubzDaGawd definitely sees you. And continue to do what you're doing to keep them alive. This is the last warning in this motherfucker. Some of you are listening with your chest puffed out and shit like this is beneath you. Some of you are listening with your head bowed because you know exactly who I'm talking to. And some of you are listening to this at 2 a.m., replaying a voice note from a man who can't say your name out loud. I am not here to embarrass you. I am simply here to keep you breathing. If he needs you hidden, he plans your vanishing. If you are a rumor to his friends, you are a risk to yourself. If the only time he sees you, girl, is when his shame is loud, your death will be the silence he prefers. Choose you, choose living, and choose tomorrow. And I close with the amen that ain't so fucking sweet. This is my warning to the ones with ears, and unfortunately, this is my eulogy to the ones who didn't. Do not prove your worth in a room that requires your fucking ghost. Do not let a man audition his hatred on your body. Do not mistake hunger for love. If you are still here, you still have time. Tell the truth louder than the fear that taught you to whisper. Make it home. Make it tomorrow. Make it out. Some of you are already ghosts. The mercy is you're still breathing. Now it's up to you to decide what the fuck you're gonna do with that miracle.